gender roles in the household are pretty much established on just by actions. They're very traditional, and they're really not communicated, but I think they really should be to kind of know the grounds, or if there's any questions. And you know, are they different from your childhood? I think you inherit them from your childhood. You see how your parents do or grandparents, and you kind of react on those to base your grounds when it comes to your gender roles in a family.
Our gender roles are, I guess, fairly common. I sometimes cook. Jerry will cook often too. He helps a lot around the house. I'm really lucky. He'll help do laundry, he'll help clean. We really both try to do as much as we can to help out and have our children help out too. But Jerry always does the yard. That's the one thing he always.
I think that my gender roles in our family are pretty close to what they were as I grew up. My husband is really good with cooking, and I clean up or will uh, reverse the role if we have to. I typically do all the laundry. He's really good about making sure that the yard looks good. If I'm running short on time, he will vacuum or dust. He's really helpful, which has been a good blessing, especially with our little one that we just had. I was busy taking care of him, and he would step in to help out. He would always make my lunch. So I think in the gender role there, he really stepped up and did more than I thought he would. And as far as how it's different from me growing up, it's pretty close to how my dad treats my mom and my mom does him. Mom did quite a bit around the house growing up, but dad always stepped in and helped her out as he could.
Various scripture where gender roles are brought up. They're up for great debate because a lot of them can be frowned upon, deemed sexist, or just kind of taken out of, I don't say out of context, but sometimes there's scripture that women can they don't like how they word because they're very pro male, and but the one that I can think of is like Genesis 2, where it says that the woman was created to be a helper for man. So then that can be taken to various levels.
The Bible talks about submitting to your husband and husbands loving your wives, and that's, I know some of that it's in First Timothy, and that used to be hard for me just to relate to or understand, but I've learned that the more your husband loves you, the easier it is to submit.
Um, as far as biblical gender roles, being submissive is one of the biggest ones that God talks about. I feel like it's the easiest way to be submissive to, like my husband, would be just respect. When things, you know, I want to do something different, or if I ask him to do things around the house and he can't or whatnot, I just feel like it's always just best to respect the other one. I feel like you get more out of it. Um, and I believe it's in First Timothy that it talks a lot about it.
Gender roles have caused problems in relationship, and I think that's normal. I think it can even be healthy. I think it's one of those deals where maybe the conflict brings up the communication, because I think the communication side of it in a relationship helps sort those out. But males aren't supposed to understand females. Females aren't supposed to understand males. We're totally different human beings, and our actions and even thoughts, and while we have our thoughts and beliefs. So yeah, I think they has caused problems in relationships, but at the same time, I think it always will cause problems in relationships.
Probably our biggest issues with gender roles is just me being stubborn. Jerry's really easy to get along with and takes care of the family. And I sometimes want things my way too much, so probably the issues that have arisen are because of me not wanting to submit and not doing biblically what God has called me to do?
We never really fought over gender roles except for at the very beginning of our marriage. Just me doing my laundry a certain way, or I clean a certain way, or he thought that I was supposed to take care of all the laundry, and I thought that he was supposed to do, help out more. We've definitely worked those out, and we've become a better team by, sharing a lot of them. So I think just when you can, and you can resolve them as best you can by just sharing them or respecting the other one and helping out when you can, or if you see it, just do it. So